Well, I was fascinated by Luther from elementary school. When I was 11, I came into what we call grade 6. And in that classroom, were these big posters, and one of the posters was Luther before the Emperor Worms, and I was
Mm.
impressed. It was like Daniel in Lion's Den. We had a poster of that also. It was similar for me.
Yeah.
And when I was 13, 14, I got my first Luther biography given by an aunt of mine. Um, and she said she knew I liked books, and she said, "Well, I should read that." So I did, and I was fascinated by this man ever since. And as you may know, although we are in the Reformed Calvinist tradition, we do, of course, honor Calvin for his institutes. We have him on our bookshelves, but our heart is full with Luther.
Mm.
So Calvin is more for the head and Luther for the heart. And especially in the Dutch tradition, in the Reformed Puritan tradition, Luther is more read than Calvin, and that's how I was brought up. And when I was at the Theological University in Apeldoorn, my predecessor, he was also a fan of Luther, so he made me even more enthusiastic. Living close to Germany, that's another thing, and we go on vacation a lot in Germany, visit all these places. That helps also. So there's a lot of arguments for reading Luther, staying with Luther, but most of all was my fascination about how his way was, how he went his path, what happened to him, and his really astonishing preaching and talking so plain, so open, that I was fascinated. And towards the year 2017, I thought, well, I would like to know how this man, in Dutch we say how someone ticks. I don't know if you have the same thing, but so what's the inner side of this man? Was he really as stubborn, as robust, as a hero as he is depicted? So I thought I'll just read all of his works, and I have them behind me, the Weimar Ausgabe. And I spent first hours of every day reading Luther, especially his letters, to try to get a picture of him. And I put that all in the book, A Spiritual Biography. I learned a lot, and I keep being fascinated. Once in a while, I need to go back to Calvin to get some structure. But after a while, I just need Luther. Yeah, it's like a source. It's so fresh, it's so pure, and it's so living close with the Lord, so open for God, so existentially in his struggle with the devil and in his sins. And